about the 1997 Toyota Celica I got. I wish I would have documented the build on this video, but just wasn't big into YouTube at the time, was still learning about, working on cars. As far as me working on cars, it's one of those things that, I've got a mechanical engineering degree. I've always wanted to do, stuff like this. I had the technical knowledge, but didn't really have the hands-on experience. So it was something I always wanted to get into. And it got to a point where finally I was like, you know what? I've always wanted one of those, 6th gen Celicas. Let me pick one up. So it was actually a bit of a mess to finally get one because I spent probably a good 2-3 months just on forums and on Craigslist and all these different websites just trying to find a 6th gen Celica. Just constantly looking. I was like constantly trying to find one. And the funny thing about it was a year earlier when I wasn't ready to buy it. Now when I started looking, this was probably, I think it was like January 2013. When I looked a year ago in 2012, man, there were 6th gen Celicas all over the place. They were everywhere. They were in my local area. I could find them really easy. Looking around, like I said, 2012, I was able to find a whole bunch of them, but I wasn't ready to buy then. And 2013, I'm ready to find a bunch of 5th gens, but I couldn't find any 6th gens. So I was just looking and looking and looking. I remember I found one that was really, really nice out in Phoenix. It was a red one. It had I think 90,000 miles on it. It was I think a 2000 or 1997, 98. Oh, it was amazing. It was all red. I was like, I want it. And I found it pop up on Craigslist. I emailed the guy right away, and I couldn't get out to see it until 2 hours after someone already bought it.
Dang it!
And so I missed that car by like 2 hours, and that was the same story over and over again. I was missing cars by 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, a day, just little by little. I mean, it seemed like everybody was snagged around. So finally what ended up happening is I finally came to the conclusion that with where I live and what's going on, I'm gonna have to buy a car sight unseen. And so what ended up happening is I found one on cars.com. It was a dealership out of, Palm Springs, California. Called the guy up. Hey, you still got the car? Yeah. Can you send me some more pictures? Send him more pictures. I was like, okay, I need you to start the car up and give me a video of it running. Had him do that, had him go through all that, and within about 24 hours, I said, I want the car. And I ended up buying the car without even actually touching or seeing the car in person. And I ended up picking up this car for, I think it was about $4,000, and then paid about another $500 to ship it. And so I was so excited when it finally showed up to the house. So excited. It ended up showing up. I had to go to a truck stop to actually pick it up from the freight shipper, and had my wife drive me over there, picked it up, drove it home. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it was true. The one thing though is at first I was looking for a hardtop Celica, and my wife talked me into a convertible. She really wanted to have a car that we could go on dates with, have the top down, things like that. Sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't, because the hardtops are a little bit better as far as for modding and for racing and street car stuff. So why did I want a 6th gen Supra? Well, it looked like the Supra. I love the styling of that car. It wasn't that super price, so I wasn't gonna pay all that crazy money. It was front wheel drive, so I knew it would be a good car to start on for me to learn on, because front wheel drive will just understeer you if you push it too hard. Rear wheel drive can easily oversteer you into some serious trouble. So and then the reason why I wanted the GT is because I had a 2.2 liter. 2.2 liter, more displacement, and I was already looking at turbo kits, and because my initial plan was, once I kind of get the car figured out and sorted and get everything kind of worked through and looked at and kind of understand the car, I want to turbocharge it and take that stock motor, because I saw people taking that stock motor and taking it from 135 horsepower, which it was stock, all the way up to around 250, 300 horsepower. And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. I think I can do it. I can do that. I can make. So I ended up getting the modding bug for the car. Started making some modifications, adjustments, things that I wanted. When I first got the car, first problem I had was right away the front main seal was leaking. So,
Dang it!
so got that fixed, got that taken care of, and then I was like, okay, it's time to mod this car. First thing I did, ended up doing a K&N drop-in air filter, you know, real simple, real easy. I didn't want to get rid of the stock air box. I heard the stock air box probably has the best cold air flow out of anything that you could put in there. And then from there, I did aftermarket gauges. Never did aftermarket gauges before, but I was a big car audio guy back in the day, so I knew I could figure out the wiring and get that all done and straightened out. So ended up getting a a pillar mount on the side pillar that goes up the side of the car, and doing 3 gauges there. Ended up doing a boost, oil pressure, and I want to say voltage, just messing around just to see what would happen. It was a narrow band AFR gauge, so it really didn't give you much. It just said if you were rich or lean, whatever. It was, you know, something a little cool just to kind of mess with. Also threw an aftermarket stereo in there. Ended up going with a nice JL Audio W3 with a Pioneer deck that I'd had for a while. It was actually a Pioneer Premier, which they don't even make anymore. Really good quality decks. I ended up putting that in there, and ended up driving the car, having some fun with it. Really loving it, taking it out on back roads. We got plenty of back roads out there to hit it and have fun with it. And then I remember one time being outside of a Best Buy, and this one really broke my heart. Was I walk into Best Buy, and I was in there for no more than maybe 10 minutes, come out, and there's a huge banged in quarter panel on the car. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And no car anywhere to be seen. Somebody just hit and ran on the car. So ended up filing a claim, getting the car fixed. Luckily, the damage wasn't enough to really total out the car, but I was still pretty pissed about that someone would just hit and run on the car in the parking lot and just drive off. So ended up getting that fixed, and then ended up throwing some headers on the car. Really made the car sound mean. Did a full catback exhaust. What I ended up having to do is when I put the headers on the catback exhaust, the car was too loud, way too loud. I mean, my ears were almost bleeding, so I ended up adding a resonator in there, quiet it down, because with those cloth top, you know, convertibles, they don't block the sound as much as a hardtop. So once I put that resonator in, it quieted it down just enough to make it drivable and for me to have fun with it again, and I just continued to have fun with it. After about enjoying the car for a year and really having a good time driving it around, I was like, it's time to boost it. Let's do this. And we'll talk about that in the next video.